Now, for the fourth consecutive day, Israel and Iran have been locked in a fierce missile exchange. Despite growing calls for restraint, the war is escalating. This is the latest. Iran has launched combined drone and missile operations targeting Tel Aviv and Haifa. And according to reports, 3 people have been killed in the latest attack on Haifa. This comes after Israel attacked Tehran. IDF fighter jets struck densely populated residential areas in eastern Tehran. Loud blasts were heard across the capital.
آنچه که ملاحظه کردید، صدایی که شنیدید، فضای غبارآلوده استادیوم.
Iran's state television says that it was under attack by Israel. The incident occurred as a news anchor was broadcasting live.
فضای غبارآلوده استادیوم.
Iran issued an evacuation warning to Israeli news channels N12 and N14 after Israel launched a surprise attack on Iran's state broadcaster. The Bazan group has its oil refinery in the Haifa Bay. All its facilities have been shut down after an Iranian strike. 3 people were killed in the missile strike on the refinery overnight. Bazan is currently working with the Israel Electric Company to resume electric supply to the facility. Iranian media has rejected Israel's claim of destroying Iranian Air Force's F-14 fighter jets, saying that the targeted aircraft were decoys placed at Tehran's Mehrabad International Airport. Iranian publications have also claimed that Tehran has downed Israeli F-35 fighter jets in Tabriz. This is the 4th claim of F-35 being shot down. On day 1 of the conflict, Iranian media claimed that Tehran shot down 2 jets. However, Israel rejected the claim. The Iranian Red Crescent has said that 3 of its rescuers were killed by an Israeli airstrike in northwest Tehran. Mr. John Rossomando is a president of Viking Research Associates, geostrategist and expert on national security. He is now joining us live from Washington, D.C. Mr. Rossomando, good to see you and thank you very much for making time for us. I will read to you a statement by the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi. He has actually warned that escalating hostilities between Israel and Iran pose grave dangers to diplomacy and nuclear safety and has urged all parties to exercise maximum restraint. Do you think Israel has attained its objectives of neutralizing the nuclear facilities in Iran?
So far, it's done a lot, but however, the Fordow enrichment facility remains online. And as long as Fordow is in play, Iran will not have, Israel rather, will not have achieved its goals. Except for the only problem with that is that it's located hundreds of feet underground, and only the United States, with its Moab 30,000-pound bomb carried by the B-2 stealth bomber, can take that out. So right now, Israel is doing a lot by weakening Iran's military and command and control. However, it has not achieved its goal.
Mr. Rossomando, I'll read to you. Let's stay with this. Let's focus on this a little bit more, because Grossi says military escalation threatens lives, increases the chances of a radiological release with serious consequences for people and the environment, and delays indispensable work towards a diplomatic solution for the long-term assurances that Iran does not acquire a nuclear weapon. Your reaction to his statement?
Well, I think that the fact that Iran already said it has no interest in giving up its nuclear enrichment says it all. I mean, if the Iranians are willing to, agree to allow for the dismantlement of Fordow under the supervision of the U.S. and the United Nations and other third parties, then maybe there might be an off-road. However, Iran is not going to give that up. I mean, it's already told different Arab capitals in the run-up to this that it would not give up its enrichment.
Mr. Rossomando, Israel has hit Iranian oil and gas facilities. Why do they matter?
Well, they matter because they account for the bulk of the Ayatollah's ability to get money off of the market. Because Iran's economy is still overwhelmingly controlled by oil and gas.
Mr. Rossomando, there has been speculation that Israel has the ears of America, and the world is also waiting to see if at all Russia, Turkey, and China will provide support to Iran. What happens if these three nations, Russia, Turkey, and China, do indeed support or provide support to Iran?
Well, it depends upon what kind of support you're talking about. If it's like military support, then that could become seriously problematic and escalatory. I think that the one thing President Trump has said is that I think his red line is Iran attacking the U.S., but I think that so far you've had a lot of verbal support from Turkey, China, and Russia for Iran, but not much else.
Okay, going forward, what options does Iran have in its conflict against Israel?
Well, Iran has the options that it's showing. Keep throwing missiles at the Israelis and hope to inflict enough terror and pain that they stand down. However, the Israelis are just as committed to keeping this going because they view Iran's pursuit of a nuclear weapon as an existential threat. So it could go on for a while unless the Iranian people decide to take matters in their own hand and end this regime.
Well, we are all waiting for the joint statement between the world leaders who are currently assembled in Canada for the G7 summit. But do you really think that anything from the G7 summit will, try and calm the situation down? Do you actually think, or do you have any hopes that these world leaders may bring Israel and Iran to some sort of consensus?
We're well past the point of diplomatic return on this because the Israelis, struck after a consultation with President Trump, and President Trump indicated he wasn't getting in their way. And now President Trump is telling his MAGA base here in the U.S. that elimination of an Iranian nuclear weapon is part of being peace. So I don't see anything unless the one side decides to capitulate.
Mr. John Rossomando is the president of Viking Research Associates. He's also a geostrategist and expert on national security. Mr. Rossomando, good to see you. Thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you.